So hello everyone, welcome to this presentation. My name is Chris Corrigan. I'm the subject lead for music in the School of Arts, English and Languages. And I'd like to speak to you today about one of our 5 music programs, the Bachelor of Music, or the BMus program. So I'd like to start with a few brief words about Queen's as an institution in general. Queen's is a member of the Russell Group of universities. These are 24 of the research-intensive universities across the UK. Queen's is also ranked within the top 250 universities worldwide as of the most recent QS World Rankings. In terms of graduate prospects, Queen's is in the top 40 across the world for graduate prospects, again from one of the recent QS Graduate Employment Rankings. And we also have the lowest student rent across the UK, according to NatWest's recent Student Living Index. Over the last number of years, there's been quite a significant investment within the campus infrastructure at Queen's. We've invested about £700 million over the past 10 years, and this has gone into public facilities for all students, including the Macleay Library, including investments in the Physical Education Centre, and new bespoke buildings for computer science. So within our own school, the School of Arts, English and Languages, we offer 5 programmes in music. A Bachelor of Music, a BA in Music Performance, a BA in Music and Sound Design, a BA in Music and Audio Production, and a BSc in Audio Engineering, which is co-taught with our colleagues in the School of Electrical and Electronic Engineering. So there's a number of unique aspects of the infrastructure of our school that I'd like to show you to begin with. We are based across 2 buildings, the Sonic Arts Research Centre and the Music Building. And within each of these buildings, the centrepiece or the heart of each of those buildings is a performance space. Within the Sonic Arts Research Centre, we have a fabulous performance space, which we call the Sonic Laboratory. And this is a unique performance facility across the world. It's a space specifically for the performance of electronic forms of music. And it includes 48 loudspeakers distributed in different parts of the space, both in front of the audience, behind the audience, above and below the audience, and to the sides of the audience. The purpose of these loudspeakers is to provide a completely immersive listening experience, rather like the developments in cinema in the area of Dolby Atmos, but specifically for music purposes. And then 5 minutes away in the Music Building, just on University Square, we have our music centre, and within the Music Building we have a beautiful acoustic concert hall, the Hearty Room, and all of the acoustic music performances on a concert basis, but also our performance modules are delivered within the Hearty Room. We have a number of quite close relationships with industry partners in the province. Of particular note is our partnership with the Ulster Orchestra. This is a strategic partnership that's been developed over the last number of years, and it enables us to bring in tutors from the orchestra to feed into the performance platform classes that happen on a weekly basis. But we also have close links with a range of other partners, the Lyric Theatre, Moving On Music, one of our fabulous local music promoters, and BBC Northern Ireland, who were integrally involved in the design of our BSc in Audio Engineering. As well as those partnerships with local institutions, we have a number of specific industry professionals who come in to teach on our programmes. One of our industry professionals is Peter Wilson, or Duke Special, as he performs. And Peter is directly involved in the delivery of modules that we offer in songwriting and modules that we offer in contemporary or popular music performance. So in addition to Peter, the Hard Rain Soloist Ensemble work with us as industry professionals, serving effectively as an ensemble in residence. And the Hard Rain Soloist Ensemble feed into a number of activities across our programmes, including workshopping compositions from our composition students, working with our performance students, and also working with our students making audio recordings in commercial studio contexts. So the School of Arts, English and Languages is also an Avid learning partner. We're one of the academic partners with Avid, and Avid are one of the major software companies in the creative industries. Avid release software called Pro Tools for audio editing and recording, and Media Composer for video editing and recording. And these two software applications, Pro Tools and Media Composer, would arguably be regarded as the industry standard platforms for this kind of work in audio recording and editing and video editing. As well as that, Avid are the parent company for the Sibelius music notation software, which I'm sure many of you have used for music notation purposes. One final unique aspect of our department is that we offer generous performance bursaries to any students who wish to study performance or to take a module in performance who have passed a performance audition. So if students are accepted following their audition onto our performance modules, the bursaries cover the costs of all of the practical performance tuition across the year of the delivery of that performance module. And over the course of 3 years, if students carry on performance across the 3 years of their degree programme, the cost of those performance tuition lessons can mount up considerably. So these bursaries can be worth up to in the region of £2,500 over the course of 3 years. So the Bachelor of Music programme at Queen's is our longest established degree programme. We celebrated our 70th anniversary just last year, so we've been offering music at Queen's for a long period of time. And the focus of the BMus has not significantly changed over those 70 years. We offer a programme that focuses on core musical study concerned with a number of key areas. The performance of music, the composition of music, and the musicological study of music. And I guess embedded into those 3 core aspects of activity on the BMus is a desire to encourage students to think about music and the role of music in society and to make music matter. So to give you a clearer sense of the structure of our BMus degree, I'd like to talk to you about the diagram you see in front of you. This is a diagrammatic representation of the degree structure. In any 1 year of the degree programme, the expectation is that students will select. Sorry, I'm going to start that chunk again.
No problem.
So to give you a clearer sense of what's involved in the BMus, I'd like to speak to this diagrammatic representation of the degree structure. The degree is a 3-year programme, and in each year of the programme, students are expected to take the equivalent of 6 modules. Each of the boxes that you see there represent either individual modules or a range of optional modules. The white boxes in the diagram indicate compulsory modules. So what you see there is that in the first year of the degree, 5 of the 6 modules are compulsory modules for students. And those compulsory modules include a module called Music and History, which, as you'd expect, focuses very much on musical repertoire, key musical figures throughout history, from the Renaissance to the contemporary composition. Introduction to Music is a module that focuses less on musical historical moments and more on the sociological function of music through the ages. So the role of music in worship, the role of music in advertising, the role of music in film, the role of music in political movement. Fundamental harmony will be familiar to many of you from study of music at A-level, and this focuses on development of core harmony skills. And then we've 2 modules in composition, an introduction to composition in the first semester in the autumn, and then 2 composition modules of which students can choose one, Composition 1A and Composition 1B. And the difference between these 2 modules is really concerned with the mode of compositional practice. So composition 1A focuses very much on the extension of instrumental compositional techniques within the European art music tradition. And composition 1B focuses more on the composition of sonic art like materials, often relying on studio-based contexts for their realization. Moving on to level 2 then, you'll see at level 2 that there are only 2 compulsory modules compared with level 1. First of these, classical analysis, runs in the autumn, and the second of these, fame, runs in the spring. So at level 2, students have a lot of flexibility to design the content of their second year according to their particular interests. So we have a range of optional modules focusing on things like scoring and arranging, notation and transcription. We have modules focusing on aspects of music psychology, improvisation as a performance practice, arts management. And we have technical modules from our BA programs in areas such as sound design for screen, sound recording and production. And we have modules that run across the whole of the year, focusing on different aspects of creative musical activities, such as solo performance, ensemble performance, composition, and songwriting. At level 3, there is even more flexibility for students to choose modules that reflect their own interests and passions. All we ask at level 3 is that you take at least one module that focuses on some element of historical musical study. So this could be a module, for example, in focusing on the works of Bach and Mozart. It could be a module focusing on politics and popular song. But equally, it could be a module focusing on sort of traditional Irish music or other areas of music history. And again, as with level 2, we have a range of modules that allow students to select optional modules focusing on their particular areas of interest, and this could include composition as a creative practice, solo performance as a single module, solo performance as a double module. We offer modules allowing students to write extended essays or dissertations in a chosen subject of their choice. There are modules looking at the role of music in film, modules looking at orchestration, and again, technical modules from our BA programs in areas such as sound recording and production, composition in the studio, and composing specifically for visual images, film and television in particular. So to give you a flavour of some of the activities on our programme, I'd like to play you 2 short examples featuring our former students. The first of these is a recording made by Elaine Palin, and this was a recording made by the BBC as part of BBC Music Day a number of years ago. So this is a short extract of musical performance. Elaine was one of our renowned performers from a number of years ago, and this particular recording was made shortly after she graduated from Queen's. So I hope you enjoy this this extract.
Si, si.
So this second example is an illustration of two things, in fact. Firstly, of some student compositional work in its early gestation, but it's also an example of how our industry professionals, the Hard Rain Soloist Ensemble, often work with our composers. So this is a short extract from a composition workshop. Students had prepared a draft score of their composition, and this was the first time they were hearing it being performed by the ensemble. And through the course of the workshop, the performers would give the student feedback on what they felt worked well in terms of the writing for their particular instruments. And the students would then go away and refine their scores before the final submission. So this is a short extract from one of our second year student compositions. So over the years, our music graduates have found employment across a wide range of sectors. Many of them have gone into music-specific careers as performers, composers, producers of music, both in the popular and in the classical traditions, arrangers of music, conductors of music, and so on. But equally, quite a lot of our graduates have gone into graduate-level employment. Employers are looking for high-quality graduates across a range of different disciplines, and the music subject area is an excellent degree for a range of employers across a range of sectors. The skills that music graduates develop over their 3 years include skills in writing, skills in researching, but also skills in presentation. All students who are performers get up on the stage on a regular basis and they have to perform. They have to communicate with other students. They have to work in teams. They have to resolve conflict. And so many of the skills that are developed as musicians are directly relevant to a wide range of graduate employments. As well as that, students have, music students that is, have found employment in a range of related areas, areas such as broadcasting, journalism, teaching and academia, arts administration, music therapy, and publishing. Some specific examples of some of our graduates from music. Kieran Scullion is currently the head of music at the Arts Council of Northern Ireland. Marie-Claire Doris is a classical music producer with the BBC. Eugene Monteith is a conductor and musical director with the Bath Symphony Orchestra. Carol McGonnell is a solo clarinetist and also teaches at the Juilliard School in New York. Kieran O'Donnell is head of music for the City of Wolverhampton Council. And Deirdre Mackay is a renowned and very well established composer. So finally, entrance requirements for the Bachelor of Music. We ask for 3 Bs at A-level, and they must include A-level music. And the equivalent qualifications to 3 Bs at A-level for the Irish Leaving Cert and also the BTEC qualifications at levels 3, 4 and 5 are listed on the slide there. So I hope that's given you some sense of the music programme at Queen's, the Bachelor of Music that we offer. If you've any further questions, or if there's anything that I haven't covered, please don't hesitate to drop us a line. The email address listed on the slide there, askahss@qub.ac.uk, is the one to use, and we'll get straight back to you. And could I also point you in the direction of our music Facebook site? And we've a growing community of followers on Facebook, and you'd be very welcome to join us there. There are regular posts regarding activities within the school, concert activities coming up, student performances, many of which are free and open to the general public. So please do join us there to keep abreast of the day-to-day activities within music. So thanks for listening, and as I say, please don't hesitate to get in touch if you have any further queries that you'd like to ask.